Hi YouTube, my name is Cynthia and today I just wanted to share my experience with Hyundai. Specifically the Mississauga Hyundai that's located on Glen Erin, obviously in Mississauga. So this is not the way I'd hope the situation would end, but they haven't really given me any other options, so grab a drink, I have one, get comfy because this is kind of a long story. I have my laptop here just because there's so much going on with the situation that I don't want to miss anything. So on February 1st, I picked up my brand new Ioniq plug-in hybrid. Not exactly a cheap car. So the sales manager at the time came over just as I was signing the papers and he said, "Hey, just so that you're aware, there's a check engine light on the car. I've taken it out on a test drive. There's nothing wrong with it. Just take it home, drive it for a couple days. It should be fine." He told me that the reason for this was because it was the car's first time having a full tank of gas. For me, that seems like an absolute, terrible reason. I'm not a mechanic, but, maybe I'm wrong. So I spoke to some other people. I spoke to a mechanic, I spoke to service advisors, and one that is at their own dealership. All of which had said that that is not a valid reason. That is not a reason the check engine light should be coming on. So regardless, he just kind of kept pressuring me to take the car off the lot, and so I did. Drove it for a couple days, and about on the fourth day, right as I was about to bring the car in, the check engine light came off. So then you fast forward to February 11th. I brought the vehicle in because I realized that on the back seat, there's 3 seats, 3 seat belts, 2 seatbelt buckles. The very middle seatbelt buckle was nowhere to be found. There was no way that it wasn't missing or not. Sorry, it was missing, but it wasn't that I had missed it. So I brought it in and they had to take my car apart, take the seat off the car, and they found out that, hey, it was hidden under the seat. Ding ding, red flag number 1, no quality check. So on April 14th, I was running some errands as I was about to go on a family day long weekend trip. During those errands, the second I turned the car on in the morning, my check engine light came on again. So like I mentioned, I was about to go off on a long weekend trip, so I couldn't bring the car in that day. Drove the car around a couple hours, the light was still on, and right when I got back home, the light turned off. But again, I was leaving that weekend, so there was unfortunately nothing I could do about that. So on February the 20th, I brought it back again. So now this is the 3rd time it's been on for a brand new vehicle. And I picked it up on February 1st, so this is only 19 days after I picked up the car. So I dropped it off at the shop, and they called me back and said, "Hey, we found out the issue. Turns out it's just a little paint that's on a cable in your car, and that's why the check engine light was on. Don't worry, we've removed the paint, the light is off now, you can come and pick up the car." So obviously I went back, I was like, okay, thank you. I obviously was already skeptical. Paint on a cable, okay. The next day it came on again, and this happened at around 8:20 in the morning. So I will be putting up a picture just to show you that little message that comes on in the AVN unit. So I dropped it off, and then they told me that it had something to do with the GPS disconnecting from my media unit, and that it was a faulty media unit. So they said they would have to order a brand new unit for me, have me bring the car in, swap out the car, and then swap out the unit, and then give me the car back. So they had to call me, make an appointment, was swapped on the 26th, and I got the car back the same day. So then on the 27th, I was in the car trying to set up the BlueLink system, because with all the new vehicles, you get BlueLink, which lets you start your car remotely, preheat your car, and I'm kind of a wuss. I like to have a warm car. And so for the first little bit, they said it will take some time because your car has to register that it is now with this new AVN unit. I said, okay, that's fine. So as I was setting it up, I was in the car, and this time the check engine light came on again. But instead of just a check engine light, this time they had a check hybrid system light. So I brought it in again, immediately texted my service advisor, and he said, "Hey, bring your car in, we'll see what we can do." So then they had told me that they would keep the car for a couple days, try and figure out what the issue was. And when they called me with their preliminary, judgment to see what the problem was, they told me that it was because of the tiny little magnet phone mounts. So I don't think I have it on me at the moment, but the magnet phone mounts are just, the ones that you put on the back of your phone with a little metal piece, and you can kind of just slap the phone on and it holds it in place for you. They're saying that little magnet, which is about this big, is the reason why my car was having a check engine light. I didn't believe that. The service advisor at the time also didn't believe that, but they said, hey, we're going to take it off. We're going to drive it for a couple days, and then we'll let you have the car back if nothing happens. They said they drove it for a couple days, but like I mentioned earlier, I have a BlueLink system. On the BlueLink system, you can track on the GPS where your car is. Every time I tracked the car, it was either in their lot at the dealership or parked at someone's house. It was not being driven. There was not, once the car was being driven, I would get notifications that like your car is unlocked, and I see that they moved it from inside the shop where they actually work on the cars with all the lifts and everything to the back where they're parking the car. So there was no real test being done, but I said, okay, you're saying that it's fine. You're saying that it's the magnet. Go ahead, take off the magnets, see what happens. I got the car back on March 2nd, and I brought that in on February the 27th. So on March 5th, this is now a Thursday, I had to bring the car back again. The check engine light came on around 8:24 a.m. So now this time the check engine light came on, and with a lot of new vehicles, you can turn off the lights yourself, like set it to auto so that when it's dark enough, it turns on like the brighter lights for you. My car is set to auto. I never turn it on to anything else. It was set to auto, but my headlights somehow detected that it was nighttime at 8:24 a.m. Everything was turned on as though it was nighttime. So all the lights, the front lights were on. It indicated that on the front of the dash. My inside lights were super bright, thinking that it was nighttime. So I immediately called my service advisor again, brought the car in, and said, hey, these are all my issues. It's happening again. I don't have the mount. The mount is like inside the house. This has nothing to do with the magnet. So don't try and like blame that phone magnet. So I dropped the car off, and then I walked over to the sales side of the dealership. And that's when I found out that my sales manager at the time, when I bought the car, is no longer at the dealership. He was the one that throughout this entire process said that he would be working with Hyundai Canada. He said that he would be reaching out to them, making a case, making it known all of my concerns. He said he would be reaching out to me. Not once did he tell me, hey, I will be leaving in 2 weeks. This is who you can contact. He was just gone. After basically pressuring me to take my own car off the lot with the check engine light on. So then it kind of left me with nothing to do, except the receptionist gave me the name of, I believe it's a regional sales manager or a district sales manager. So I emailed him. Took a couple days for him to get back to me. He said, hey, I'll look into it. I'll see what happens. This might not be like, an actual car problem. And when he did get back to me, he said that it was because there was a software update. He said that a software update will be the issue and that it will be the solution to get rid of my check engine light. That the software update is going to come from Hyundai Canada. The car is perfectly safe to drive. There is no issues. It's a check engine light, but it has nothing to do with the actual safety of the car. Except that I need to just be patient and wait for a software update. Let me just kind of put this in here right now. It is June 26th today. I still have not heard anything about this update. I will get to this update a little later on in this video. There's a little more to that, but just going to put that out there that I have not heard anything. So because this check engine light came on and the magnet mount was off, I just went ahead and put it back on. Again, put that on the 6th. It is now June 26th. The light has not turned on. Has nothing to do with the magnet mount. So on June 7th, I noticed that the steering wheel wasn't built properly. So in this picture, you can kind of see that one side looks like it's pushed in a little bit more than the other. So I went to bring it in I texted actually my service advisor before I brought it in, and he told me to come in on another day because he was just finishing up that day, and I said, no problem, I'll come back, just because I've been working with him the whole time. So on March 10th, I brought it in, and he told me that they wouldn't be able to figure out what the problem is. He had a technician come out, and they said, well, we're going to have to take apart your car. Like, I don't know how long that's going to take taking apart your car, but whether it's just a simple fix or if it's something that we need to order a part for, we still need to take apart your car. So then I said, okay, I'll come back on a Monday. I'm working from home. I can, it's a lot closer than driving from the office to the dealership. Then that's when COVID hit. So March 13th was when they announced that basically all of Ontario is kind of going into a lockdown. And then March 16th, that Monday, was when my office had told everybody, hey, just work from home, don't come in the office. So then I texted him and said, hey, are you guys still open? And he said, yes, but it's kind of really crazy. We might be shutting down soon. So I said, okay, that's fine. It's just like a steering wheel. I'll come back at a later date. I know it's a little crazy. I know COVID just hit. That's okay. So I finally got my first service done in June. Like, this is now a couple months later because everybody's been at home. There's hasn't really been a reason to drive long distances. I don't know if there's anything else wrong with the car. But my first service was done on June 19th. And I booked it, I believe, the Monday before that or the Friday before that. And after I had booked it, I noticed that the dash on my car started bubbling, like the leather on the car. So I'm gonna put a picture here as well. It should not bubble, like it's a brand new car. So when I brought the car in for service, I brought up, hey, the leather is now bubbling, my steering wheel still isn't fixed, and now I'm here for my first service. And so service advisor said, okay, I'll look into all of that. Just leave your car here, we'll get your service done. So I dropped off my car and then again walked over to the sales side. And I said, hey, like to the reception, I don't know who to talk to. I haven't heard any updates. They said I would get an update for my car. Nothing has come up from that. She then said, hey, here, let me put you through to our senior sales manager. He's the one that actually runs all the sales in this dealership, and let's see what he can do for you. You know, he was all nice and said, don't worry, I'll open a case. I'll personally talk to the regional sales manager and we'll try and solve this issue ourselves. Like, we'll talk between management. And I said, you know that there's already been a case. He's opened a case. He's looked into it. And all he said was, yes, I understand, but I have to open a case for myself because I have to, discuss between management. And I said, okay, that's cool. So that was on a Friday. He promised me that he would reach back to me on Monday. It did not happen. I had to call him and he said, oh, sorry, I was too busy. We couldn't get a hold of him. We didn't have a chance to discuss your vehicle. I will make sure to call it again. And so this is now bringing us to this week. So let me just pull up my calendar. So June 22nd, I called him back, and that's when he told me all of that information. And he said he will reach out to me within 24 hours. June 23rd, I don't remember if I had to call him or if he called me, but I remember him saying that he was telling me he would have to contact Hyundai Canada because he found out the same thing that they told me, that my car would have to get a software update. And he said, I'll have to reach out to Hyundai Canada to figure out what's happening with this update, when the update is coming. And then I reiterated again that I have not been given an update. And he assured me that he will get in touch with Hyundai Canada and he'll call me again within 24 hours. So on June 24th, I called him back. And he said he was still waiting to get in touch with Hyundai Canada. So obviously now it's been about 6 months since not 6 months, sorry, about 5 months since I got the car. And I'm getting frustrated. So I called Hyundai Canada myself, and they said, he made me like case number, everything. And then he said, I don't see any recalls for your car, and I don't see any updates that are supposed to be going to your vehicle. I'm going to have to reach out to the dealership to see what they're talking about. So then that brings me to now. I called him today at around 9 o'clock. He told me, hey, he didn't even say it that nice to me, quite honestly. He just said, oh, yeah, I know who you are. Yeah, I'm actually on the phone with Hyundai Canada right now. Just give me about an hour. I'll respond to them, and then I'll get back to you within an hour. It has been over 3 hours, and I have not received a call back from him. And honestly, the senior sales manager there has not given me the best attitude. Every single time I talk to him, he's just brushing me off. Same thing with the old sales manager that I had. Same thing with the regional sales manager that I had. None of them have done anything for me at that dealership. All I have gotten is terrible customer service. So when I was talking to Hyundai Canada rep, he said that the chances of me swapping the car would be a little slim now because it's been months since I purchased the car. And I was told by the sales manager at the time, the one that had left, that, I can't bring the vehicle back because I had already passed the 5 days, but he never once gave me that option. And then all he kept telling me was that, hey, I know there's a check engine light, just give us another chance. We'll help you fix it. We'll make sure it's okay. I'll make sure you walk out if you're satisfied. Whatever you need, just let us know. None of that happened. So I tried to look for other options. I looked up something called CAMVAP, which stands for Canadian Motor Vehicle Arbitration Plan. So this is basically a group that aims to help consumers who are having issues with their vehicles and dealerships and any issues that can't be resolved just strictly between the customer and the dealership. So I finally got a call back from them, and they told me that unfortunately, since Hyundai had turned off my check engine light the last time they worked on my car, they couldn't help me do anything because no check engine light just means no case. They have nothing to really help me fight with. And long story short, I said, so I should have just told them to leave the check engine light on, or just have it written down somewhere. Don't just turn it off. At least discuss it with me before doing anything. And basically they said yes. So this is where it brings me to here now in my room recording this. I have no other options. The senior sales manager is not responding to me. I sent an email to the regional sales manager, and this was sent, I think, last week, asking for an update. So let me just pull up that email. I sent an email asking for an update just to see if he had anything to say about the software update, and nothing. And that email was sent on June the 14th. Haven't heard back yet. We're still waiting for the senior sales manager to get back to me. I had to push to get a response to let me know that the replacement for my dashboard is going to be approved, and that they have ordered the part in and that I will be getting it replaced. And I'm really honestly running out of options. So I'm here recording this video. I have submitted a story to CBC Go Public. I've submitted it now to Mississauga News. I posted a review on Google, and I will be posting to their Facebook page with my story and this video as well. And honestly, I am tired of being treated like I don't mean anything as a customer. I might not be a mechanic, but I know that all the reasons you're giving me do not make sense. So Hyundai, if you're watching this, please feel free, and I encourage you, leave a comment below. Tell me where to contact you, or even better yet, look up my vehicle, go talk to Mississauga Hyundai. Give me a call. I will gladly give you every single one. All these service reports, I will give you proof, every single one. All the text messages, I will gladly give it to you. Any picture proof you want, I got it. Don't worry, I will give it to you. Just talk to me. And for my friends and anyone else who has stumbled upon this video, at the risk of sounding like every other YouTuber, please, I beg you, share this video, like this video. I really don't care if I get subscribers or not, but my goal is just to have this shared so that I can have my issue resolved. So yeah, that's everything for today. Stay safe, everyone. Stay hydrated, and I'll see you next time at a hopefully better situation.